Hey there, I'm Carrie, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Shakespeare's Sonnet 116, also called Let Me Not to the Marriage of True Minds Admit Impediments. So I'm going to read through the poem first. If you need to listen to it for class, that's going to be right up front, and then I'll go back and break it down line by line, cover any vocabulary that we need, talk about what this older English really means, and kind of get down to the roots and the theme of the poem. I've got timestamps in the video notes, so scroll down, click around, find exactly what it is you need. If you were looking for more technical information on the sonnets, I've done a separate video on that where I talk about the basics of the formatting, the structure and rhyme scheme and iambic pentameter. So I will link that in the video notes as well if you want to learn more about that. All right, let's get into Sonnet 116. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. All right, so that is Sonnet 116. To me, this sonnet is the best one. Because it's not about a particular person, it's not about beauty or youth or any of that, it's just about the nature of love. And the speaker says that the nature of love is enduring. It should endure as a person changes from day to day, as their temperament changes, as their circumstances change. It shouldn't be based on looks or the physical, as a person ages, love should endure. And as the problems of life, as the storms of life comes along, love should withstand it. If it is real love, it endures. And that is what this poem is about. So let's go back and get it line by line. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. So true here means like faithful or sincere. Marriage may be like a literal marriage, like a legal marriage, or it may just be a union, like a joining. So two minds, two hearts coming together. Admit, usually we think of that as like a confession, like, oh, admit it, admit the truth. But here it actually means like let in. Like if you get a movie ticket or an event ticket, it usually says admit one, let this person in. So admit means letting things in. Impediments are like obstacles or problems. So he's saying don't bring problems into it. Don't let in these obstacles, these hindrances. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds. So alter means to change something. Alteration is the change. So if it changes with a person's mood, like I'm having a bad day, so I don't love you, or you're having a bad day, so I don't love you. If that is the nature of it, then that is not true love. Or bends with the remover to remove. Bends in this context means like submits, like bending to the will of something. So the remover could be, someone that's trying to come between two people. It could mean like time, the passage of time. So if somebody else can come in and destroy this, or the passage of time can destroy it, then it's not true love. I should point out to you that in the rhyme scheme of Shakespearean sonnets, the alternating lines, like the first and third and the second and fourth lines, should rhyme with each other. So you might be thinking like love and remove do not rhyme. Keep in mind, I'm speaking with my modern American accent. This would have been written for people with Shakespeare's Elizabethan English accent. So things that don't seem to rhyme in my speak probably did rhyme in his. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark. An ever fixed mark, that's something that doesn't move. It's always in the same spot. Now that word, fixed, F-I-X-E-D, in our modern American accents, we're like, that is one syllable, fixed. And this is supposed to have 10 syllables per line because it's iambic pentameter. Remember the accent thing again. What looks like fixed to us would be fixed to Shakespeare. It is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. A tempest is like a storm, like a rough windstorm. So it's something that doesn't move in spite of the wind and the rain and, being shaken around. It is the star to every wandering bark. A bark is a ship or a boat. That's a nautical reference that's talking about how people would guide their ships by following the stars. So he's probably referring to the North Star. It doesn't move. It's that constant guide. Every ship is guiding itself by the same star. Whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Worth's unknown means the value of the ship is unknown. The value of the ship's cargo is unknown because we don't know what's in there. Although his height be taken, critics kind of disagree about exactly what this means, but the theory that I've read that makes the most sense to me is it's talking about the height of the ship in the water. Taken in this context means like observed, like you took note of something, you wrote it down. We're observing the height of the ship in the water. The reason that people would do this is because they would be guessing at what the cargo of the ship is. If the ship is carrying something very heavy, it would sit lower in the water. So even though he doesn't know what's in the ship, he doesn't know how much the cargo is worth, he knows that the ship is carrying something very heavy. So that might be a reflection on, love is the same regardless of wealth or of class. That same enduring love that kings and queens experience, that's the same guiding love. It should be the same enduring love that people of the working class experience. Love's not time's fool. Time is capitalized. It's an entity here. So it's kind of a bad guy almost. It says it's not time's fool. It means like, love is not getting played by time. Time does not control love. Though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. So what this means is love should not be subject to physical looks. It's saying that time eventually erodes good looks. The rosy lips and cheeks, that's like youthful good looks. Eventually time gets rid of that, and love should endure that. Love should not be based on your physical looks. Within his bending sickle's compass come. So a sickle is a knife, like a farming knife. It's a curved blade, and when someone would swing it, like it follows a circular pattern. So that's what compass in this context means. It's not the thing that you're guiding by, it's the circular pattern. So it's saying like, good looks, youthful good looks, will eventually be in the path of time. When time takes that swipe with its circular knife, it is going to take out youthful good looks. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks. So it's talking about time again there. Time's brief hours and weeks. So love should endure time. It keeps growing as time goes by, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. You might see this as a reference to the wedding vows that we still speak now. Like when people say, until death do us part, love should carry you to the very end. It should endure to that very last breath. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ nor no man ever loved. If this be error means like if I'm wrong and upon me proved, like if I'm wrong and my actions prove it, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. Writ is not a word that we really use anymore. It's like a past tense of the word right. So what he's saying is, if this is wrong, if my actions prove me wrong, then I'm an idiot and love isn't even real. No one's ever even loved before because love should endure. All right, that's about all I've got on Sonnet 116. I hope something in there was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when the next story or poem becomes available. If you had a different poem or a particular author in mind, definitely drop that in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Best of luck to you, and I'll see you in the next chapter.